Welcome. My name is Draft Raw, and I am doing a 32 for 32 series. If you don't know what a 32 for 32 series is I am doing every single team in the NFL's draft recap for 32 straight days. Now, if you have been following me or if you've not been following me, I've already done the NFC North, which is in the description box, and now I'm in the AFC North, which the past videos will be in the description box. I've done in the AFC North, I've done the Browns, I've done the Ravens, and I've done the Steelers. And in today's video, we're going to do the Cincinnati Bengals. So without further ado, let's just get right into it with the very first pick. The Cincinnati Bengals decided to select quarterback LSU Joe Barrow. Now, Joe Barrow is the most gifted passer in this draft. He's an absolute playmaker. Sometimes he holds the ball too often. And honestly, the holding the ball too often is not indicative of who he is. It's not even me saying he holds the ball too often, just like, oh, he just holds the ball too often. It's not like he doesn't throw the ball away. He's a playmaker, so he tries to stretch the play out. The other thing is that his offensive line is so good that he was able to stand in the pocket for like almost 5 seconds before he threw the pass. So that's another thing. But what the holding the ball too often does correlate with that is a problem is that sometimes he seems like he can't read blitzes. Everybody talks about Joe Burrow as he's like he was just straight up the best quarterback in this draft. They talk about him like it was just unanimously he was just the guy. Like it was just he's the franchise changer. And what I saw from him is that when I look at top prospects, a lot of times I like looking at their flaws. And the reason why I do that is because I want to know, are those flaws coachable? Or are those flaws something that he can't get over when he gets to the league? To me, these flaws are coachable. But reading the blitz, sometimes it just seems like the blitz was coming, and instead of throwing the ball quick, he held onto the ball too long, and he got sacked. And it was just kind of like, well, what are you doing, Joe? And people forget about those things because he ran out the pocket the next play and threw it 60 yards down the field for a touchdown. People forget it because on that same drive, he led his team to a touchdown. People forget it because in that game, his team scored over 50 points. So it's like they're not realizing that this is something that could be a problem. It is coachable, but it's something that to really watch out for if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan. So I'm just putting it out there. With the very next pick, the Bengals decided to select wide receiver from Clemson, T. Higgins. T. Higgins, to me, he's one of the top 4. I had him in my top 4 receivers in this draft. One of the more cleaner prospects. The only thing that you can say is that he doesn't have the crazy speed like you would see from Henry Ruggs or Jerry Jeudy in a way. Then you would say, well, he doesn't have the yards after catch ability, like that quickness, like a CD Lamb or a Laviska Shenault. But what he does have is that jump ball ability. He can run after catch. He does have good enough speed. He's got great hands, and he's actually a pretty good route runner. To me, it was one of those things where I feel as though he could be the best receiver in this draft class when it's all said and done. The thing is that there were other receivers like a Jerry Jeudy who's such a great route runner. It's kind of hard to sit there and say, oh, T. Higgins is going to be better than him. But I will say that this was an amazing pick by the Bengals, and they got a weapon that somebody like Joe Burrow would need for years to come. Even though they have Tyler Boyd, and they have I forgot the young kid from Florida State. If you know his name, comment in the comment section. I forgot his name. He's from Florida State. Auden Tate, that's his name. Auden Tate. Even though they have Auden Tate too, that's just another weapon for Joe Burrow to have, just like what he had at LSU. So it's more. And then he has Joe Mixon on top of that. So it just bring it into town. Just bring it into town. So anyway, with the very next pick in the third round, and this is crazy, the Bengals never trade a lot. I just want to put that out there. They don't trade a lot. They literally picked every single player when they were supposed to pick them for each and every pick that they had. It seemed like every year they only have 7 picks. But anyway, with the third pick, they decided to select Logan Wilson. And I forgot where the heck the boy played. Because when I think of Logan Wilson, I'm thinking of Dante Olson that played at Montana. Logan Wilson played at Wyoming. Good read and react. Just looking at my notes. Good read and react. Not athletic enough to be a starter to me, but he's an excellent head-to-head tackler. I think that he's a rotational linebacker, more of a strong side linebacker type prospect or middle linebacker, but he's one of those guys that have to come off the field on the obvious passing downs because he's not going to be the guy that you want out there because his athleticism is just not there. To me, I thought his ceiling would be just a special teams guy, but maybe the Bengals see something that I don't see because the player that they drafted after Logan Wilson, I thought was a completely better linebacker. So I don't understand why Logan Wilson was their next top. But I do understand that, like I said, he's a great tackler and he's good at reading and reacting. And so maybe they chose him because they wanted a different type of linebacker. Maybe they were sick of maybe their linebackers are so athletic that they don't have any instincts. And so they just wanted to get a different type of guy. And that's what they got in Logan Wilson, if that's the case. So, and with that next pick, like I kind of already was talking about, Hakeem Davis, to me, was one of my favorite linebacker prospects in this draft. Not even he's one of my favorite prospects in this draft. He's a very fast guy, great tackler, natural will linebacker, small but physical. I want to get back to that. He reminded me a little bit of Darrell Washington from TCU that played for the Arizona Cardinals back from like 2010 to like 2014 or something. Because he can dip under the lineman to make a tackle. And I've only seen a couple of guys do that. And Darrell Washington did that continuously a lot. The thing is that, and I wanted to get back to small but physical. This guy was one of the most physical linebackers I've seen in this draft, and he was only 220 pounds. There weren't like Malik Harrison linebackers physical. Dante Olson, Logan Wilson, pretty physical guys. Hakeem Davis Gaither is about 20 pounds, weigh 20 pounds less than they do. And he was just as physical. And he was holding his own. So, and it's kind of weird because then you will see some other linebackers that they just get washed out of their play and they weigh more than him. And it's not just the weight, it's just the strength. And you would think that a guy being bigger, maybe he'd be a little stronger, and it's not that. But Hakeem Davis Gaither, to me, is the absolute steal of this draft because the Bengals got him in the 4th round. I'm going to say this right now. He's going to possibly be the best defensive player in this draft. But also, I can see him winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, just like Darius Leonard did 2 years ago from a small school. This is I'm telling you, he's the guy. He's the guy. He's got that ability to be able to do that for the Cincinnati Bengals. With the very next pick, they chose Khalid Kareem, edge rusher from Notre Dame. Not a big fan of him. But I've been wrong about pass rushers that the Bengals have chosen. Like I was wrong about the kid Sam something from Ohio State. I forgot what his last name is. I was wrong about him. I thought he would be a bust, and he's not. So, good kudos to the Cincinnati Bengals for knowing what they wanted. But I would just say I just didn't like his tape. I didn't think he was a natural pass rusher. I just think that he's a first, second down type of guy that maybe he's out there on 3rd down or passing downs just because maybe somebody tired. But he was definitely not one of the better pass rushers in this draft. I just didn't. And to me, there were some other guys that even went undrafted that I would have chosen ahead of him. So next, they chose another one of my favorite players, and that was Hakeem Davis from Kansas. Good versus power, but not speed. very, very high energy. Definitely a guard and a natural mauler. Those were the notes that I wrote down for him. He was a guy that played left tackle at Kansas. So, he's got some versatility. He's definitely not a tackle. He's definitely a guard, but I saw a lot of things that could really make him a really, really good guard within this league. And with the offensive line help that the Cincinnati Bengals do need, this is a guy that you could start with to put out there next to like a Jonah Williams and your Billy Price and whoever else you're going to have on your offensive line to be really, really successful. And maybe it helps out a guy like a Joe Burrow, and it's going to help out Joe Mixon. And it's going to help out the receivers because the quarterback is going to have time to get the ball to the wide receivers and the tight ends and whatever, and so on and so on. But this is a really, really good player, and this is another steal that I think y'all had besides Davis Gaither. And then last but not least, they chose Marcus Bailey. I wasn't a big fan of Marcus Bailey's tape as a linebacker. I just thought that he was pretty average. Didn't make a lot of game-changing plays. And not to say everybody's going to make game-changing plays, but it just seemed like he was just out there playing. And it seemed like he was using any instincts, or he was just this amazing tackler, or he was just so athletic. It may have a little bit to do with his he had 2 ACL tears 2 years in a row, so it may have something to do with that. And to me, him in the seventh round, he's one of those guys that I think that the Bengals, because they do like coaching up their own draft picks, they don't like getting rid of them till their contract is over. I know that a lot. But the thing with him is that I think that he's a guy that the coronavirus probably helps him in this situation, being as though, he can learn sitting back. He won't have the OTAs that he want, maybe. But he can learn just sitting back, because OTA should be going on right now. He can sit back, watch the game, see how the game is played, and then next year come back and possibly then have all that stuff going for him. And then he'll have a little bit of advantage because he'll understand speed of the game. He'll understand certain different things that he needs to understand. But, his knees will then be even more healed as time goes on. So they will get even more better. So this is why it probably helps him more than it hurts him. But I think that he was just an okay pick, solid pick, something that the Bengals probably decided to get for special teams purposes, or maybe he can actually be a contributor to their defense. So anyway, that was the last pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. I thank anybody for watching. Like I said at the beginning of this video, future videos, not future videos, but past videos will be in the description box. The way the layout of the 32 for 32 series will be in the description box. I will be doing the NFC East next. Probably we'll go. Let's go Cowboys. Let's just do Cowboys. But we're going to keep on rolling. We're going to get this 32 for 32 series going. 32 straight days is going to end May 31st or May 30th. I hope you be there. Once again, my name is Draft Raw. I thank anybody for watching. Goodbye.